There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz .jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to today's career development session. We are joined today by 2 universities, Mapua University and Technological University of the Philippines, Taguig. So today we have speakers from Synchrony, Home Credit, and ADP. But before we start, we invite everyone to join us for the prayer and the national anthem.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
Thank you for that, Tech. So, before we start, we'd like to ask Engineer Pal Maliter M. Domingo, Assistant Director for Academic Affairs for TUP Taguig, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Good day to everyone. I want to congratulate you on taking a step toward realizing your dreams, dear students. The goal of supervised industrial training is to give you practical work experience and knowledge that will aid you in your personal development. Your path in the industry will now be aided and accompanied by the presentation of career development webinars and SIT orientation. I want to I want to express my gratitude to the Guidance Office and Jobs180.com for organizing this event. I sincerely hope that you all learn something from this experience and are better prepared to enter your respective fields when the time comes. There are differences between being on campus and what you'll encounter outside. That is why always remember that your present situation is not your final destination. The best is yet to come. Good luck, our dear student, and God bless on your new journey.
Thank you for that, Engineer Domingo. So now we welcome everybody to the session. I'm Shari and I'll be hosting this activity today. So please be advised that attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this webinar. Please tag your friends so they don't miss out on this activity today. So to the students of TUP Taguig, I know that they are on Zoom. So hello, and if you have questions, please route it to Ms. Nees so she can put up the questions here on our backstage link. So the recordings of this webinar will be posted on the job application section of our website shortly. I would also like to acknowledge Ms. Nees and the entire team for helping us organize this activity today. So to everyone, here is our schedule. So we will be discussing job applications using the resume link, maximizing the best of both worlds, challenges and expectations of working in a hybrid setup, building an innovative mindset, ways to deliver results through unconventional ways, and last topic is reinventing your leadership style, tips on how to advance in your career. So to everyone, welcome to the activity, welcome to the event, and please put in your questions in the comment section because after each speaker's presentation, we'll do a short Q&A. So let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker will be discussing job applications using the resume link. So he is Sir Kim Chua. He is the managing director of Jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, you know the drill. We give you the floor.
Hi everyone. Good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist. Now, if you're using the right tool, so just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay? Another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply. No? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Diba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink by definition anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay, so as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Na okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik ta rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have a resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eljablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba, antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontak. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying, diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo, no? Willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, dalawang lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Chabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, diba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. Diba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese. Kung ano man yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, ito pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Itong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung matiyatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, diba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba. No? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende kung ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende kung ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And, most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes, when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari? Nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen niyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae, in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Eh, pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, o, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yun pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nilagay ng picture. Dapat kompleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa'yo ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information, na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link, kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi! Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo i-on or i-off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information, and in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now, we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs.at.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs.at.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do you do? Just go to the website of jobs.at.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so anong gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, and when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang bibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs.at.com. Send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file. Diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na may HR. Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume. Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume. Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume. I don't think you do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras yan, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka-real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka, when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, diba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O, diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O, diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, resume link card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20. Bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use resume link cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of resume link cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your resume link card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng resume link card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung resume link, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your resume link card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your resume link. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, resume link, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using resume links. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet? Kailangan ng pang-load. Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, resume link na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, di ba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Di ba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, di ba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung resume link mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anong version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide from north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin resume link. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the resume link. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo, kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay, diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question, is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no? Because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So, shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think, is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details nyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? O, 'di ba? Char-char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay? So, check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So I'll go first to give you time to think about your questions. Okay, first question. Is it okay to apply to jobs not directly related to your course?
Yes, pwedeng-pwede. Pwede sila mag-apply sa kahit na saang lugar, kahit saang course, kahit walang connect sa course nila. As long as they are able to do the research, make sure lang na hindi kayo submit na submit, apply na apply, tapos bahala na kung sino nang tumawag. Because some companies, when they ask you one simple question, malalaman na nila kaagad kung talaga nag-ready ka or hindi. When they ask you, why did you apply for this company? Or what do you know about the company? But and you don't know what to answer sa tanong na yon, sayang oras, di ba? So, pwede naman mag-apply no, sa kahit anong position, kahit na walang connect sa course. Basta lang you do your research and gusto mo talaga yung trabaho yon. Yan yun. Okay? So, I hope I was able to answer that question.
Thank you for that, sir. What are red flags that they should watch out for when they start interviewing?
Red flags, like if I'm the applicant, tama ba? Red flags for me, if I'm applying to a company, una, dapat yung company legit. Yan yung pinakauna. And how would I know if the company is legit? These are the signs, no, for me. Una, the company has to have a physical office in the Philippines. Yan yun. No, I'm not saying that if they don't have an office in the Philippines, that means they're illegal. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying lang na when you apply to a company, if you're applying for a local and direct hiring here in the Philippines, dapat meron silang opisina dito. Kasi pag nagka-problema kayo later on, just in case lang, no, we don't know what will happen, pero kung nagka-problema kayo later on, meron kayong pupuntahan na opisina. Hindi yung hindi yung tipong yung opisina nowhere to be found. O, di ba? So, yun yung una-una. Second, uh, I think companies that you apply to when you do your research, dapat meron silang website, as in official company website. Not using social media lang no as a website because nowadays it's like your address eh. Parang yan yung digital address mo, 'di ba? And social media accounts are different from a corporate website. So for me, dapat yung company lalo na sa panahon ngayon, dapat meron siyang official website. Next, when you apply to a company who is local and direct hiring dito mismo sa Philippines and you're applying, wala dapat kailangan bayaran. No? May mga companies kasi sometimes they take advantage of applicants, especially pag fresh graduate. Naniningil sila, no? Yung mga pakunti-kunti dyan, kahit sabi mo application form, sisingilin sa'yo. Or kung ano man, baka ballpen dyan, pati kung ano man, hingiin pa, stapler, pabayarin pa sa'yo. So, pag mga ganun, mapaisip na kayo. Dapat pag local and direct hiring, you should not be paying anything. As in, absolutely zero. You don't have to spend for anything. Yan. Those for me are simple guide ko lang yan para masabi na the companies I'm applying for somehow are ano siya, legal, legit, safe ako. Yan. Yan yung para sa akin.
Okay. So thank you for that, sir. So to our audience, let us know if you have questions or clarifications. If nahihiya kayo, meron pa tayong tatlong speakers. So pwede nyo ilagay yung speakers, yung questions nyo anytime and we'll ask it to the speakers. So please don't forget your school site. That's where you see vacancies and openings from the different employers. So for TUP Taguig, that's schools.jobs180.com/TUP Taguig. And for Mapua University, that's schools.jobs180.com/Mapua. Thank you,
Okay
Sir
po,
Kim.
tanong. Tanong lang kayo, baka meron pa, mahaba pa naman ng mga time natin, no? Oh, by the way, one more pa pala, sorry, remind ko lang. In case lang you want to apply for Jobs 180, promote na lang ako. Total, malapit na rin kay graduate eh. We have several vacancies. Internal. These are internal vacancies no for Jobs 180 mismo. If you want to work for our company as a web developer, ayan, shout out ako sa lahat ng mga nasa IT background dyan, web developer. Kindly check out the opportunities or requirements and responsibilities we have. Doon po sa binanggit ni Ma'am Shari, schools.jobs180.com/TUP Taguig at saka schools.jobs180.com/Mapua. Or just go to our website, jobs180.com. Hanapin nyo lang Jobs 180. Makita nyo doon yung mga positions sa requirements. Another thing that we're looking for, another position we're looking for is for academic linkages at saka business development. So, if you are medyo maboka-boka, mabibo, ma-assertive, outgoing, I think ito yung para sa iyo. If you love to travel, remember, we have more than 400 plus colleges, university partners nationwide. So you want to, go travel, see the Philippines. Yeah, this is also additional perk, no, for that job. So check us out. Marami mga opportunity. We are looking forward to having you in our team. Ayan po. Okay.
Okay, thank you for that, Sir Kim. Have a great day. Ayan. So moving on, we'd like to introduce the second speaker. So we have Miss Diane Therese Escobar. She will be discussing maximizing the best of both worlds, working in a hybrid setup. So Miss Diane is the talent and recruitment manager over at Synchrony. She's been working there for the past 5 years, and she started her career as a recruitment coordinator and was given the opportunity to be promoted as specialist. Last 2022, she was promoted once again, now as a manager that handles the recruitment operations for the business. Interestingly, Ms. Diane is also a graduate and alumni of Mapua University last 2017 and was able to obtain a bachelor's degree in psychology. So, Ms. Diane, if you're ready, we give you the floor. Hi, Miss Diane. How are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm good. How about
Good
you?
morning. Doing well, ma'am. I'll put up
It's
your
good.
deck.
Sure.
So, ma'am, I leave it to it. If there are any
Mhm.
glitches, I'll come in to advise you. But for now, so audio is good and deck is good. So, I'll leave it
All
to it. Miss
right.
Diane, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Shane. No? So, hi everyone. Good morning. So, I don't usually wake up in this early, but for you, I am here to share some knowledge which is relevant to you, upcoming graduates. No? So, again, I am Diane. I'm the talent and recruitment manager here in Synchrony, and my topic is maximizing the best of both worlds, working in a hybrid setup. All right. So, before we get into it, definitely we have to first define what is a hybrid work arrangement. Okay. So, in Google, when I searched it, right? So, hybrid work arrangement is a flexible approach that combines in an office environment and a working from home setup. All right. So, as you know, during the pandemic, it was really a drastic change for us to convert everything that is on site to remote work. Okay, so it was really a shock to everyone in any industry. As what I could see, and in this post-pandemic era, then hybrid work is really a booming trend for most industries. No, so in this type of arrangement, we get to have the flexibility to choose what is suitable for our employees, and for you as an employee in the future, you get to also choose what type of schedule you wish to take advantage of. Okay. And one of the things that new hires or you guys as new talents of our industry today looks for in a company is flexibility. All right. And in the coming slides, I want to share with you what are the advantages and disadvantages of this, and some of the tips that I can share with you on how you can prepare yourself in this hybrid work setup. Okay. So let's go now to the types first. Okay. So, what are the types of hybrid work schedule? So, there's quite a few. There's four types of hybrid work schedules. Okay, and first is the hybrid at will. So here you have all the flexibility in the world to choose what are the suitable days that you can go in the office or to work from home. Besides this, definitely the time is part of the choice as well that you have. Okay. And next one is the hybrid split week. So here the companies assign specific days for on-site and remote work by team or by function. So let's say your team is advised to work in the office because it is more suitable for you to engage in person, and the other teams may have more flexibility or option to work from home because they have just certain deliverables to do, which they can do at home. Okay, so it really still differs and it depends on any company that is there. Okay, and then next is the hybrid manager scheduling. So in this case, the manager gets to demand or gets to assign on what days that you need to work. Okay, this depends on any assignment that is provided to you. Okay, so if let's say you are part of a recruitment team, so you will be assigned to go to the office Monday and Friday because you need to accommodate walk-in applicants, and then some days you can just do virtual recruiting. So that type of manager scheduling setup. Lastly, we have the hybrid mix. So this is actually combined all three options. So there's a lot really of the flexibility there. And usually what is being provided by organizations today are the hybrid split week, or what they say, the 2-3 or 3-2 model. No? So what does that mean? So when we say 2-3 model, two times you go to the office and then three times you can work from home, or vice versa, three times you can work on site and then two times at home. All right. So it differs, depends on the industry and the business. All right. Okay. Next is the advantages, no? So before I proceed, guys, please feel free to comment any questions, because this is pretty relevant to you now that this is the new way of working. All right. So let's go now to the advantages of hybrid work. So there's a lot. I can only fit six advantages, but definitely I'll do my best to squeeze in everything that I can in this slide. Okay. So as mentioned, right? Hybrid work is really the new way of working or the new normal in work schedule, right? And the reason for that is because of these advantages here. Okay, so first one is flexible schedule. Okay, so we have the freedom or our choice to choose whatever suitable in our lifestyle. Okay, so let's say you have personal appointments on Mondays, so you get to you prefer to work on Tuesdays instead on site, or let's say you're coding on Thursday, so you need to be on a work from home during this day, and etc. All right, so you have the flexibility based on your lifestyle. All right. In relation to that, we also get to experience this balance in work and personal life. Okay. So you get to have a choice to give some time for your personal well being. Okay. So um, less time to travel as well and get to use this time to do a lot more personal activities like let's say you get to sleep more. All right, you get to watch Netflix on your breaks, free times, right? You get to be with your family and loved ones as well. Okay, and this is something that we all experience, especially during the pandemic when we work remotely or when we were also studying remotely. Okay, so it's quite similar to what you guys are experiencing right now in some universities and institutions. All right. And the next is broader hiring. So this is actually an advantage for recruitment, no? So in looking for talents, we get to have a wider reach in different cities or areas in the Philippines or international. Okay, so before the pandemic, when we are full on site, right, we only are limited to certain areas. Okay, because we're looking at the proximity and their amenability to work on site. All right. Now that we are working remotely or in a hybrid arrangement, we get to reach out to those in the provinces and provide opportunities to them as well. All right. And the next is cost effective. Okay, so less cost in transportation, less expense ating commuting, all right? Or Grab or whatever that is. Similarly, gas as well. Okay, so besides that, some companies tend to just open up um, co-working spaces and they get to remove na yung ating other sites or real estate hubs, no? So they get to also have less or reduced cost on that. Okay. Next is reduces carbon footprint. So given that we are only at home, we get to reduce no yung utilization of gas or oil or again due to transportation, extensive electricity that is not necessary anymore, so we get to give back also no to the environment, right? And then lastly, increases employee retention. So it is seen in different studies that if people are provided the option to be flexible, they choose this instead of higher pay. Okay, so you can Google that and you will see the same. Na people that today not only look at the pay, the benefits, but also the flexibility. That is why if you would notice, nag-boom ang freelancing, nag-boom din ang ating work from home assistants, right? So it was really seen that they value more their time instead of, having a stressful day going to the office and etc. All right. So those are the advantages of hybrid work. Again, these are just very few. There's a lot more, and I encourage you guys to do a little bit more research on that to see what is suitable for you. Right? Okay. So ano naman yung disadvantages of hybrid work? So there are a lot, but again, the advantages outweighs the disadvantages. All right. So first one here is the challenging to connect with the remote staff. Okay. So as you know, we're not meeting or we're not seeing them in person. you are not seeing your teammates, your manager in person. So it may be difficult at first to connect. Okay, because we're used to just being there on site and not talk a lot. All right. And now that we are remotely working, it's relevant that we make ourselves known now we are there. That's why we have different tools like Slack, Microsoft Teams, or other chat systems to connect with our team members. Okay. And then next is harder to monitor the company. Okay. So as what we say, we are working outside of the usual space, right? So the company managers, leaders are not really seeing you in person. So it's quite hard to really keep an eye on you. Okay, so it really takes a lot of efforts, and it is important for the company to calibrate the managers and leaders to, of course, strictly implement policies and guidelines. Okay, so though it's hard, but it is workable if everyone works together to make this work. Okay, so you have to really work together on that. Next, it is isolating. So, yes, I completely agree. For sure, when you guys study at home as well during the pandemic, it was quite stressful because we're isolated in a box. We're not going outside. If you're like me, I like to interact with people. So, it's quite of a challenge or a big adjustment for me to just stay at home. So, but it is recommended, guys, na you take advantage of still going to the office on few days so that you get to engage with people and get to meet other people's too. Besides, of course, having that flexibility. Okay. Lastly, unsuitable to some industries. That's right, no? So it's not for everyone. Don't expect that with whatever course or whatever job that you guys would pursue, no, this option is to be provided. Like, let's say you are an engineer. Okay, so you have to do a lot of field works, you have to meet with clients in person, you have to visit plants and etc. All right, so those are some of the things that you can't do remotely. Okay, so it's not suitable for everyone. Or let's say you are a pre-med doctor or whatever. Okay, so you can do online consultations, but again, you cannot practice it on hand remotely. So you really have to be there in person. Okay, so it all depends on your industry, your preference, and what you feel suitable for you. All right, so those are some of the disadvantages, but again, all of these are workable if you really, collaborate and get to engage more with your business or organization. All right, so there. So here are some of the things that I want to share with you guys on how you can be prepared in this new way of working. So for some of you that wishes to really take advantage of this work setup, all right, these are some of the things that you need to be prepared of. Okay? And one of that is, of course, you have to set appropriate boundaries. All right? So you have to, limit yourselves in terms of, again, having that line from work and personal life. Okay, so you set yourself like, hey, just 9 to 5 you work, and then after that you rest, you watch Netflix, you watch whatever, you play games, all right? You set your boundaries. And you have to also inform your team members, your managers of these boundaries. All right? So let's say your schedule is 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. So beyond that, you won't be able to respond that much, or you won't be able to do more work if, let's say, you want to set those types of boundaries. Right? If you get to overcompensate yourself and get to make them feel that you're open anytime, right? It would be stressful for you to adapt or adjust to that. Okay, so you have to set appropriate boundaries. In relation to that, you also have to establish a dedicated work area. If you have the means to set up a workspace outside of your bedroom, outside of your bed, or personal space, right? It is encouraged. Okay, but again, if you have the means, but let's say you have, or you are living in a quite of a small area and you can't really separate that much, you again still separate and set appropriate boundaries. Okay, so there. Because some people, I'm pretty sure some of you may, you know, may feel the same, right? Na when we wake up and we see our laptop besides us, we tend to just log in already and do the work, no? Which is really discouraged. We have to set our time on rest and work, okay? So if we can remove our laptops or our PCs, perhaps outside of our room or away from our eyesight when we wake up. That is, preferred. Okay. So next is become a communication and collaboration master. All right. One of the challenges that we mentioned earlier is to connect, right? And it is important for you to train yourself to communicate better with people around you, especially in remote setup. All right. So you have to chat more. You have to call your members or your teammates more. All right. So you also need to keep that engagement going. So you have to collaborate with each other and get to connect with them as much as you can so that you won't feel isolated or you won't feel any difference from on-site or work from home setup. Okay. So next is opt for being flexible. So I know that we have a lot of options to work from home, but again, if the company needs you to go on site, please do so. Okay? So it's still the company's prerogative if ever you need to go on site as needed. So you have to still be flexible. All right. So next is prioritize self-care. So you have a lot more time at home and a lot more time for yourself. So again, on your free time, please ensure to relax, breathe in and breathe out. All right. Get to do the things that you love, right? Like reading a book, listening to music, skincare, whatever that is, right? Use this time to develop yourself because we weren't able to do that when we're full on site because we tend to just go to the office in a day, rest a little bit and then sleep or eat. It gets to be routinary, but now we have this flexibility to have some me time, as what I say. So prioritize yourself. Next is jump in and embrace technology. I believe that TUP and Mapua is well equipped and are well skilled in the technologies today. And I believe that you guys won't have any challenges in adjusting to this new technologies, right? And it's pretty similar. You will experience the same when you work once you graduate. No? So ensure that you keep the learning going. All right. I know that you may be an expert on a lot of technologies already or systems, but definitely learning is continuous. So you have to still embrace new technologies, new systems, and new softwares to make things better for you at work. All right. So again, that's some of those. And lastly, remain organized. So we have a lot on our plate. It may be overwhelming for you if ever you have a lot of things to do. But again, remain organized. Prioritize what is needed. If there are urgents, you have to prioritize those. And again, respect your time as well. All right. So, again, these are some of the tips or reminders that I wanted to share with you guys regarding hybrid work. Okay. So, this is something that I want to share with you guys that came from our CEO, Brian Doubles. So, Brian said that I am a true believer in this new way of working. I am convinced that in the post pandemic world, flexibility combined with fair pay and great benefits is the new currency. It's the foundation of a more engaged workforce and a competitive advantage. And this was said by Brian last 2021 in a CNN interview in the US. And I completely agree 100% with Brian on this saying or quote, right? Here, we are saying that we value flexibility and choice and that we believe it is the new currency. All right. And as you know, in our industry today, it is important for us to take care of our workforce, for us to take care of you, our future talents. All right. And in this way, we get to engage better. You get to perform better and get to be competitive in this, you know, ever changing industry, right? So it's pretty much a win-win for us. If you guys are motivated, if you guys are happy, then you get to perform the best that you can. All right. So there. In relation to that, I want to share more details about our company, Synchrony. So, Synchrony Global Services Philippines Inc. is my loved organization. So, Synchrony is a subsidiary company that manages Synchrony's call center operations and selected back office support located at Muntinlupa City and Cebu City. So, if you are in the gig, it's quite near to you. All right. And if you are, and for those that may be in Cebu, right, we also have a hub there for you guys. We help businesses and customers achieve their unique ambitions. With over 90 years of experience, we are a leader in financing major consumer purchases and elective healthcare and the largest provider of private labeled credit cards in the United States. All right, so to simply put, Synchrony Philippines is a call center and a financial shared service company based in the US. All right. So for those that are taking financial or accounting courses, we do have a lot of opportunities for you here. And even those admin, IT, and other folks, you may be able to explore other roles within the organization. All right. And I would love to use this time to share with you guys that Synchrony is the best place to work in the Philippines based on our Great Place to Work survey last this year 2023. So guys, it's literally saying that we are number one because for our large category, for best workplaces, Synchrony ranks the first company. And this means that 97% of our employees say that this is a great place to work. All right. So in our competitive industry in the call center and financial shared service, still people are happy, people are proud, and people are motivated to say that we are a great place to work. And 97% is no joke. It's difficult to reach that level of satisfaction. And again, this is something that we don't have them edit, or we pay for this, right? It's really something that came from our employees. And if you are really looking for someone to grow or for a career, perhaps to explore, Synchrony may be the next home for you. All right. So there. Okay. Sorry. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So again, if you want to explore opportunities with Synchrony, you may scan the QR code in my screen. I will give you a minute. So here you will see the synchronycareers.com. So if you want to directly apply to Synchrony, you may access our Synchrony Careers page here. If you want to apply to Jobs 180, we are updating that from time to time. So you may apply through jobs180.com. If you want to apply, or if let's say you want to send your resume through our email, you may do so by emailing us at recruitment.ph@syf.com. All right, so this is a link version. If you guys wish to have the link, here you go. And again, our email is at recruitment.ph@syf.com. All right, and we do hope to work with you soon, and we do wish that you guys take advantage of this opportunity with us. All right, so that's actually the end of my presentation. I'm not sure if I'm short of time, but thank you so much for having me, and best of luck to our soon-to-be graduates from TUP and Mapua. I'll give the floor to questions if you guys have anything.
Thank you for that, Miss Diane.
You're
So to
welcome.
our audience, the floor is now open for questions. Miss Diane, they're currently on Teams, MS
Okay,
Teams. So I will give them time to put in their questions.
sure.
So I'll do the first round po. So, first question, may we confirm that in Synchrony, the recruitment process is also done virtually?
Mm-hmm. So our recruitment process right now in Synchrony is also hybrid. So we are accommodating applicants walk in the office, and at the same time, we also encourage them to apply online or virtually. So whatever is suitable to them, they may choose if they want to walk in or if they want to be processed online.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. Next question. What happens if the candidate didn't show up for the scheduled interview?
All right. So if let's say that they weren't able to show up due to an emergency or due to a personal reason, we get to connect with them first. We check with them if, hey, are you still interested? Do you still wish to proceed with this application? And if they, explain that they just weren't able to attend due to a specific reason, then we give them a chance to be rescheduled. But again, we provide this chance to an extent. All right. If let's say we've rescheduled them 3 times and they're not able to attend. Okay, so it's already a pattern of not being committed, no, with the position or with the application. So we set expectation that if they're no longer um, interested, we will be closing their application or keeping them on active.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am.
Yep.
Next question. How do you maintain productivity at home? Like if you are on a hybrid setup, like
Mm-mm.
what you discussed earlier. There are days that you would be going to the office and there would be days that you would be staying at home. So how do
Mm-mm.
you maintain that level of productivity when you're shifting from one place to another? What
All
would be
right.
your what would be your like insider tip?
Mm-mm. Actually, in Synchrony, we're working in a hybrid arrangement already, but we're gearing towards going fully remote. So in Synchrony, what we do is definitely we calibrate with our managers, people managers, and delivery managers to ensure that they are well informed of the policies and procedures the company has, right? And we have our workforce team that monitors the performance. Okay. And we do ensure that if, let's say, we see that this employee is not performing, then we encourage them to work on site and see a possible program or plan for them to improve their performance. So we have a big process for that. Okay, to monitor them and get to coach them on what is best or things to improve on their performances. So that's how we keep our employees monitored during this remote arrangement.
Okay, thank you for that, ma'am. Ma'am, can you let us in on productivity tools, project management tools, or any apps that you use to keep things running smoothly when the team is in different workspaces? Like some are in the office or vice versa.
All right. So I may not be able to speak on operation systems, but um, what are the tools that we use to communicate is definitely Microsoft Office applications, Teams, Outlooks, emails, right? We also have a whole system where we get to connect with customers, with team members, right? So these tools are already there. We use it every day to connect and to collaborate. So pretty much just Microsoft Office applications.
Okay, thank you for that, Mr. Yan. Last question na lang po.
Sure.
For the students, kung
Mhm.
meron kayong question, just put it in the comment section. Tapos si Miss Niz na yung mag-send sa akin. No? So, inaantay ko lang siya kapag may mga questions na papasok. Ayan. So, to our audience, ma'am, what would be your like final message or like a tip from someone who's been in recruitment
Mm.
for 5 years or ganyan, ma'am? What would be your like insider's perspective?
Mhm.
Maybe they would appreciate kung meron kayong gustong ibulong sa kanila.
Mhm. Right. So I think for me, I can relate actually to those studying in Mapua, because I graduated there last 2017. So For sure, it's still the same. It's very fast paced there. So in TUP, I believe also that they are well equipped already, and it won't be that much of a challenge for you to adjust, especially in this new industry. Because as mentioned earlier, diba, you're also doing synchronous or hybrid school schedules. No, some of the subjects you may take online, and some of which you can take in your respective institution. So it's pretty similar. In terms of a general tip, siguro for me, it's not required for you to know everything now. You're all young. So take your time and get to explore different opportunities you feel that you can gain your knowledge or skills with. All right. Because I know a lot of people that excels in a lot of different jobs, even though it's not related to their course. Okay. So don't also depend on other people's opinions, and we also have different timelines. Okay, so if you see your friends or your classmates that are already working in a big company or have passed their licensure examinations or etc., and you are still not doing so, so does not mean that you're a failure. Okay. You know, God is just providing you this time to reflect and to learn from those and get to improve yourself. Again, we have different timelines, and we have to trust the process as well. All right. So trust yourselves, trust your skills, and ensure that you get to utilize what you've learned in your school with TUP or in Mapua, and use that in our real world, no, or real life work setup. So that's just few things for me.
Thank you for the reminders, Miss Diane. I'm
You're
sure they
welcome.
take it to heart. No? Kailangan
Okay.
yung marinig.
Ayan.
Ayan. So to our audience, please don't forget to visit Synchrony's career site. It's on your screen. That's jobs20.com/synchrony. So that's where you see the list of their vacancies and openings. You can read through it now and then reflect which positions you think would suit best for you, and then apply in the next few months or when you're ready. Ayan. Ms. Diane, again, on behalf of TUP and Mapua, we thank you for being with us today, and we hope that we can invite you again for future sessions with other universities naman. Thank you, Ms.
All
Diane.
right. Thank you so much for having me. Take care, everyone.
Learned a lot po, Miss Diane. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ayan. So to our audience, please don't be shy. Libre magtanong, pwede magtanong. So lagay nyo lang sa comment section sa Teams, and then Miss Nees will be the one to forward it to us. So next up, we have building an innovative mindset, how to deliver results through unconventional ways. This will be discussed by Sir Jedd Flores, Digital Product Senior Manager over at Home Credit. Sir Jedd is the digital product senior manager at Home Credit Philippines, and making sure that customers are at the heart of their digital products. He is passionate about financial literacy and long motorbike rides on the weekends. So let's welcome to the floor Sir Jedd Flores from Home Credit. Hi, sir. Good morning. How are you?
Hello, good morning. I'm doing well.
Yan. Sir, we'll put your deck up. So there you
Okay,
go.
sure.
So this one, sir, right now it's working. Sound is good, audio is clear, and the deck is up. So if there are glitches, I'll come in to advise you po. So for now, I leave you to it. You have the floor, sir.
Okay. Folks, first off, thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk about how we do innovation over at Home Credit Philippines. So, for my part, I'll be talking about how we build an innovative mindset and how we can deliver results through an unconventional way. But before I do that, maybe a bit of a background for myself. So I'm part of the digital business team, and I am in charge and taking care of all of our digital channels right now. So these are our mobile app and the website. So Home Credit, we have been in the Philippines since 2013. We are now nearing our 10th year anniversary, and basically our main purpose is that we wanted to be the financial ally of Filipinos now. Our purpose is that we wanted to empower the people to live the life they want now. Sometimes people might put off purchasing a refrigerator or maybe air conditioning because of financial considerations. So what we want to happen is that we want people to live the life that they want right now. So, tying that with our mission, we wanted to responsibly deliver yung trusted financial services that consumers and business partners access via their channel of choice. And yun nga, given that most of the things now are digital, one of the key things that we want to do is to deliver those services via our digital channel. And right now, I think this is data as of February 2023, no. We are part of the I think a big chunk of the consumer finance market in the Philippines, around 85%, is being served by Home Credit Philippines. As of right now, 9.4 million na, and we are nearing our 10th year. So for this year, we are targeting to reach our 10 million na customer. So for February, 9.4 million customers are served, and we're practically available sa most of the provinces dito sa Philippines. So more than 74 provinces are being served by Home Credit. And finally, 13,000 employees are working, and hopefully by the end of my talk, you would be considering really joining our company. So 13,000 employees right now in the Philippines. Now, going into the main thing that we wanna talk about, no, what does innovation even mean these days? So as you can see, there's a like very different definition of innovation. It would depend on where you look at, or maybe it would depend on the people that you ask. Some people they would say that innovation is doing the same thing in a different way. Some people might say innovation is creating something brilliant in a way that it might cost more. Some people might say that innovation is really a new idea, a method, or a device, or an introduction of something new. So, here are some of the innovative things that we have encountered, no, for a while. As you know, people have been um, working with smartphones, or most of the people would have a smartphone. Either it would be an Android device or an iOS device or um, some other operating system that they may be using. But basically, smartphones change the way we communicate and then consume content. And innovation may not even be on the level of high technology. Innovation can be uh, impactful in a way that it's not high tech, but it's really affecting a positive change in people's lives. And this is where the Liter of Light project comes in. So they were able to really provide lighting, no, to underserved communities worldwide. So they are enabling people to live life out of the shadow. So with just one pet bottle and some mixture, they are able to capture light and give that light to our underserved communities. And to most of us, people would know that this is a mode of transportation, especially in Manila, wherein traffic is really bad, lalo na kunyari kapag umulan. So these are some of the innovative ways that people have tried to address a need. So we know about habal-habal before. Now they're a bit more legal with angkas and joyride. So we begin with habal-habal. So although with like questionable legality, this mode of transportation has transformed the way some people go from point A to point B. And these are just small, really small percentage of the innovations that people have done so far in addressing a specific need. So, going back, how would you build an innovative na mindset? So, we learned about how we define innovation. So this is something new, doing something different, doing something impactful. For this, I will just have three key things. There's so many, like so many ways to build an innovative mindset, but in our case, in our company, we can basically distill it down into three key tips. So the first one is that we wanted to find a problem to solve. In some other corporate speak, they might say that a problem is a challenge. They might say that a problem is an opportunity. But for us, it's really more of a call it calling it as it is. So we really need to find a problem to solve. And this is basically the seed of how we do innovation. We wanted to address something. We wanted to make sure that we affect some positive change, and we wanted to find a problem to solve. So, for the examples that I mentioned a while ago in terms of the innovation, smartphones, they addressed a gap between how people communicate. So, it started 2000, early 2000 up to until now. Smartphones are getting more feature packed. They are enabling different ways to communicate. For example, we can do FaceTime, we can do Messenger, uh, we can do walkie-talkie even. So there are apps for that. And not only that, smartphones even created a way for people to make new content. So these are the videos that you see on TikTok, the vlogs that you watch on YouTube. And after that, people are expected to consume. So there's that level of feedback back and forth between creation and consumption of content, and a smartphone is a big enabler of that. So imagine videos of people on different areas of the Philippines without access to an audience before. Now they have a wider audience, not even in the Philippines but worldwide, and that's what smartphone innovatively delivers for consumers. And on the second example, on the Liter of Light project, so it sprung from a need wherein certain members of our community does not have enough financial capability to afford electricity, and that is a unfortunate situation in our country. There are areas wherein not even like power lines are available. So they may have financial capability, but not even the power lines are available for them to connect to the electricity grid. So here it really came, the innovation came with the really the need. And like, you would expect that lighting or even electricity is a basic need, no, for a person or for a family to go through about their day. And if you don't have that, it's going to be very difficult for anyone even to go about with how to uh go about with their day. So that is where the innovative solution came from. And finally, on the case of habal habal, people just really wants to go from point A to point B. It could be that they want to go to the mall, they want to go to work, they have an emergency, they want to go to a hospital. Sometimes I just want to go there from my place to my destination the fastest way possible. And with the traffic here in Manila, we know for a fact that if you travel by car, if you travel via public transportation, it's very difficult. So there's that need to innovate how we move people from point A to point B. And Filipinos being very ingenious about how we solve things, we thought of uh, we thought of this habal habal, and eventually it became grab. It became angkas and joyride. So that's the key thing here. We wanted to make sure that we have a problem to solve, and we have an innovative way to solve that problem, going about with how we consume content and how we create content with smartphone, how we give basically light to underserved communities, and how we move people from point A to point B. So that's tip number one in how to build innovative mindset. We have to find a problem to solve. Now, going on into tip number two, this is where the thought turns into action. After finding a problem to solve, what we now need to do is we have to do something. We have to start doing something to address that need. So if you will remember a couple of years ago, Airbnb, Grab Taxi, Bicycle, or even Taylor Swift, for those who are familiar with her music, they started a bit small. Airbnb just provided a way for people to find accommodation nearby. It could be that it's a room. It could be that it's a house that you may not that a person may not have been using. Grab taxi, it was really just for taxi before. No private cars or other modes of transportation, and even other use cases were available. And even the humble bicycle, no, it really just brings you from point A to point B via pedaling. So here we now put thought into action. And this is how you build an innovative product, no. You start with addressing a need and creating the solution for that. So with Airbnb, the problem was that hotels are getting more expensive. With bicycle, the problem is that people might not have a way to move efficiently from point A to point B. With Grab Taxi, the problem is that it's very hard to book a taxi that is somehow trustworthy and with the fair price upfront. So those are the problems that these apps are and these things are trying to address. So how these companies build is that they started small. They didn't start in a way that they had a big launch. They had all the features that are needed. They had all the features that are already value adding right away. It was useful first. So there is a very specific uh, solution for a very specific problem. And that's the key thing with start doing. It has to be useful first. So if you may think that innovation is really just a catchphrase, or an innovation is really just something that an afterthought for companies, I would say no, because companies exist and solutions and products exist to address a need. So in its case, it was for expensive hotels. For Grab Taxi, it was for uh, difficulty finding a reputable taxi to bring you from point A to point B. And that's how they started. That was years ago. That was something that, in hindsight, history na, in terms of how fast and how quick tech evolves, no, year on year, month on month. So fast forward to what it is right now. For bicycle, it's still a bicycle, you have to pedal it, but due to innovation in terms of transportation, there are now e-bicycle, there are now bicycles that are GPS enabled, there are now bicycles that turn your pedal movement into stored electricity. So that's how it innovated. It didn't become a motorcycle, it didn't become a motorized bike. It's still bicycle that you can pedal, but with some other usable features that may be applicable to the user of the bike, or to the rider. Going into the examples of Airbnb, now you can also book trips, you can also book specific experiences, but at the very core of the product and at the very core of the service is you want a place to stay for certain dates at a cheaper price. And moving on to Grab, now it's really a pool of services. You can now buy food, you can now buy groceries, you can now do deliveries. And it really started from just addressing a need and then innovating along the way. And in the case of Taylor Swift, she started as a comic. Now she transitioned into pop and is one of the biggest artists, arguably, in the world. So tip number two is really start doing, and it doesn't mean that you have to start big. Also have to start. You also have to think about how you want to address a need. Start small, and then put that outside, put that in production, and put that into hands of customers. And that's when you will be able to get the third tip that I want to talk about. So here, it's really listening to the feedback of the customers. And this is the last tip in terms of how we build an innovative mindset, no, over at Home Credit Philippines. How we want to address it is that after addressing a need, after releasing it in production, we really have to listen to feedback. And when I say feedback, it wouldn't exactly mean that these are customers really giving you feedback. That's just one source of feedback. So, for example, with Taylor, she released Midnight's album like October last year, and people were complaining about the specific track, "Snow on the Beach." So they said that uh, the other featured artist is barely heard on the original version. So I think as of today, she will be releasing a new version that has more of the featured artist, and this is a clear example of a not even a tech product or not even a service, but really a person, an entity who listens to their feedback, act on it, and give that updated or revised product or service to customers. And she's very good at listening to her fans and really delivering on what the fans wanted. So she's a good entrepreneur in a way because she's able to read into the feedback and listen to what her fan base are saying. Now, going on into another source of feedback and listening, a good example of how customers or how companies listen to feedback is Angkas. And this is really tied into how the Habal Habal discussion and innovation started. So they are very good at listening to the current popular culture trends. They aren't even in a way being pushed by customers, so they really know, they're really in tune with with the customers that they are serving. So if there's a viral video that may have been uh, being viewed by thousands of customers on that day, I've experienced that even on the same day, they will push a marketing campaign, they will push an innovative campaign within that day to really anchor on what's really happening on the current popular culture trends. So that's how they listen to feedback. It may not be directly from the customer, but then again, it was what's currently trending, and they were able to really capture and uh, anchor and ride on that popular trend, and that's how they listen to feedback now. So those things, just key three things. First one is find a problem to solve. The second is start releasing, and the third and most important one is to listen to feedback, because that is when you would be able to really refine and make your product and your service more useful and usable. Now, going on to a bit more specific to what we do. So, how do we embed innovation in our everyday work at Home Credit? So, I will not go far. I will go directly to the channels and the digital channels that I'm handling. So, this is the key main customer channel. Now we have our Home Credit app and also our Home Credit website. So, with the app, it really started with just the first one. It's just really for applying and managing your loans. That was it. That was the initial problem that we wanted to solve. But then again, as we move forward and as we listen to our customers, they said that they also wanted to do other use cases. So now we have offers for installment up to 0%. We also enabled load, we enabled bill, we enabled QR payment. Now we even have Lazada wallet top up, and really something that is dear to me would be the financial literacy courses and financial literacy articles that we have been putting up on the mobile app. So that's how we address a need. We started doing small things and then eventually listening to feedback and then giving the products and services that our customers ask of us during the whole product development process. And then going on into the other channel, that's also a key thing that our customers ask of us is that, what if I don't have an app, or what if I don't want to install an app, or even what if I don't have a smartphone? I know there may be customers that prefer not to use the app. So we also provide the way for our customers to really manage their loans within the website and also know more about our products. And very recently, we have implemented a different and innovative way for our customers to contact our customer service. So that is via our AI chatbot that's available on the site, and you can do a lot of things without even chatting with a real customer service operator. And also, there are different repayment channels within the websites that is available for our customers. So this is how we do innovation at Home Credit, really addressing what's the need of our customers, releasing it, doing MVP or minimum viable product, then listening to the feedback and giving the feedback to our customers. So that's very, very much at the core of what we do in our team and with our company in the financial services na space. Now, if those things kind of interest you, you are very much welcome to apply, and your career at home really awaits. So, we're a company that treats everyone as important as the CEO. So, in here, there is really like no small roles. Everyone is really important, and I can attest to that. I think I've been with HC for close to 3 years now. My anniversary is coming up in a couple of days. So, I have been with them for 3 years. I was a pandemic hire, and life at home credit really means a career in a people-centric and an award-winning community. So in the right, these are the things that we do. So we have diversity and inclusion initiatives. We're part of the Stevie Winner, and these are things that you may experience if you decided to join us here over at Home Credit. So going on to more specific samples or more specific openings, even right now, if there may be undergraduates within our audience, internship applications are now open. And since the company really has like different departments covering business marketing or comsci, IT, data and analytics, finance, and MIS, it really is a very wide range of opportunities that may be available for you, and you can practically do that by scanning the QR here. So maybe take a screenshot or even visit the sites that we have. Um, to be a bit more specific, there's a skill-based na role. So I think this is very much relevant to our students of Mapua and TUP, and these are really technical inclined role. For example, data analysis, data engineering, software development, IT business analysis, and software testing. So these are the technology and program that we use on a daily basis in our company, the whole enabling the whole tech stack and enabling the whole business as well. And if these are things that you are interested in, there's a different ways to connect with us. You can find us over at Facebook. You can find us over at LinkedIn. The current open positions are also available at our career site. And with our partnership with Jobs 180 and of course the creation of your resume link, you can find us over at jobs180.com/homecredit.ph. And very specific to internship, you can email us over at campus@homecredit.ph with your resume link. And with that, I think that's probably the end of my slides. I want to go back and bring back the MC, Shari.
Thank you for that, sir. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So we'll wait for Miss Nice to send us your questions, no? So ako muna yung mauna para meron kayong time. So first question, sir. What is a skill or maybe an attitude that individuals should have for them to develop an innovative mindset? Would it be curiosity, creativity, and can everyone do this?
Okay. For me, personally, I would expect someone that maybe someone that will have a very open mind. That's very important for you to have an innovative na mindset, because there are so many ways to address a problem. There's so many ways to do something, and almost everything is possible, and almost everything is right. So there's no right, uh, no wrong way of doing it, or no right way of doing it for that matter. 5 plus 5 is 10, so is 7 plus 3. So by having an open mind, and by having this kind of mindset wherein you're pretty much open to feedback of employees or your colleagues or your teammates, then that will bring in more perspective, and that will bring in more value to the solutions that you are creating. So really, it's having an open mind for me.
Okay, thank you for that, sir. Second question, sir. You already breezed through this in your presentation a while ago, but I just want to ask this directly. What is your take on AI? Is it true that AI will take over many jobs in the next few years? And how will this affect your industry?
Okay, AI for me is something that is a is a companion. It will, for me, it will not be the main thing. There's always that sense of human instinct. There's always that sense of um, human enablement, for that matter. So it's not going to be something that will replace most of the jobs. It's going to be helpful for those jobs, but I may not be seeing that AI will replace jobs right away, or AI will replace jobs in the immediate sense. But what it will do is it will really enable employees to be a bit more efficient, to be a bit more targeted in what they're doing. But I don't see it really replacing people's jobs like right away.
Thank you for answering that question, sir. I'm sure that's a comforting answer for all of our
Yeah.
audience. Next question. On your last slide, sir, there's like a table of like a skills of like skill set. No, when it comes to digital skills, what are the competencies that you wish new hires would have? Like in general lang, sir. Kasi I saw it a while ago, mga my SQL, ganon. So on your end po, what is a good competency to have if they want to join your industry, if they're in tech?
Okay. So this may be very specific to certain roles, no? So for example, for software development, let's go through that. A basic understanding of SDLC, so software development lifecycle, is very much useful in the industry if you're really just starting. I mean, for the fact that you're just starting, you might not have the cool experience yet, or you might not have experience yung actual na na software development, then it's really expected that you will have a basic understanding ng concepts. You may not have the skills yet, but yung concept of how to build program, how to code, the basics of the steps of the software development lifecycle, and that's expected for someone who may be applying for a software development na role. Now, another case, for example, naman yung data analysis, or maybe yung sa data engineering. So, yun naman yung understanding ng SQL concepts. So, at the very least, you would know how to do your selects, you would know how to do your join, because these are really data intensive na roles, and data intensive din na tools that you will be using. And maybe another good example would be yung sa business analysis. So ITBAs are expected to come up with how these solutions are going to be put together, even though they might not have an understanding ng tech, but really just an understanding of how things work is a good skill set to have. So in our case, in our company, these are open positions that even new and upcoming or even fresh graduates are very much welcome and open to apply, because what we do is we have leads, and we have tech leads that are very much capable of teaching you the ways, and teaching you the right uh, ways of doing all of these things. So we are really doing that. We're really enabling and upskilling yung mga new members ng team namin.
Again, thank you for that, sir. So, to everyone, if that sounds promising to you, please don't forget to look at their career site. That's jobs20.com/home credit PH. So madaming nabanggit si Sir Jeff a while ago, no? Ay, Sir Jedd a while ago, no? So you can use that information and research the positions that you might want to get into in the next few months. Sir Jed, on behalf of TUP and Mapua, we thank you for being here today, and we look forward to inviting you again po in future talks with other universities. Thank you, Sir Jed.
Okay, thank you and good luck, everyone.
Thank you, Sir Jed. So to everyone, again, pwede po magtanong. So libre po magtanong. So please don't hesitate to put in your questions. Meron pa tayong one more speaker for the topic, Reinventing Your Leadership Style. So this will be discussed by Sir Sherwin Marasigan, HR Manager, HR Business Partner over at ADP Philippines. Sir Sherwin has been with ADP Philippines for more than 8 years as an HR Manager and HR Business Partner. Sir Sherwin's career of over 18 years includes talent acquisition, training and leadership development, employee engagement, performance management, and succession planning, mostly in the knowledge process outsourcing or legal process outsourcing industry, as well as the BPO industry. Having worked for IBM Business Services, Baker and McKenzie, and Checkwell Solutions, he is most inclined towards and labor relations, process improvement, talent development, and employee engagement. Let's welcome to the floor Sir Sherwin Marasigan.
Hello, good
Hi,
morning,
Sir
Shari.
Sherwin. Good
Thank you
morning.
for the introduction.
Ayan. Sir, I will put your deck. Ayan.
Okay,
There you go. So, sir, we'll leave you to it. You know what to do, and I'll see you for the question and
okay.
answer later. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, Shari. So a while ago, you had an opportunity to meet the other two companies who talked about innovation as well as how you work in this changing environment nowadays, specifically during the pandemic and how the setup is. Now, I'm here to discuss about how you reinvent yourself and doing your knowing your leadership style, and how do you navigate your way to a better career in knowing all of these leadership styles. So first and foremost, let us first define what is leadership style. So when you search the internet, you'll come up with different a lot of definition. But to simplify what a leadership style is, this is a method that you use in engaging your associates or your team. It's a way for you to interact with them and how you ensure that you achieve the overall objective, not only by the organization, but also of your team as a whole. So you look at strategies, align strategies based on the mission vision of the company. And this type of styles are used in a different situation, not necessarily a style that can be used in one setting alone. But let's go through all of them one by one. So, if you research about leadership styles, you'll come up with a lot of different styles and definitions as well. But based on my experience, these are the ones that I'll be sharing with you that I personally experienced and have been using throughout my more than 18 years of experience, as well as being a leader as well. So these are usually the styles that I use in a corporate setup. So there are 10 of them. So what are they? So first, it's coach, being a coach, a visionary, a servant leader, autocratic, laissez-faire, democratic, pace setter, transformational, transactional, and lastly, bureaucratic. So let's go dig deeper in terms of what these styles are. So when you talk about coaching, these are type of leaders who provides an effort in really knowing every individual member of their team. So they take time in talking to them, looking into their daily task, their objective, and finding out ways how we can improve the associate or the individual. And usually, not usually, but most of the time, when you have this type of style, it takes a lot of effort in terms of preparing for it. It also takes a lot of effort in terms of implementing it or executing it. Why is that? Because if you are a coach, you have to look at every day to day responsibility of your associate and then look at ways on how that person can improve or use his or her knowledge and skills, expertise in ensuring that they achieve the goal. So it takes a lot of time, and usually, if you are a coach, it's a one on one discussion. This is something that's difficult to implement if it's a large setting because, again, it takes a lot of time and effort in doing this. Visionary. So these are people who focuses more on what's the mission, vision of the organization, of the company, and how do we use that for us to identify our strategy and our goal. So these are people who are big thinkers. They focus on the holistic approach in achieving a goal. So it's more of what the company's direction and how we can move forward or how we can achieve that moving forward. Servant leader, uh, it's more of me as your leader and how can I help you achieve your objective? How it actually encourages the associate or the team members to go to the leader and ask for help. And the focus here is that the leader is more of a helping hand. Like, I'm here, let me know what I can do for you there. And it gives the associate or the team member power to make to seek for guidance and seek for help as well. Autocratic. Sometimes they call this dictatorial type of leadership. So autocratic or authoritarian type of leadership. This type of leadership is more of you follow me, you uh uh I give you what I need for you to do. So this focus is more on the leader alone. They are very dictatorial. Well, in the last part it says there it's their way or the highway. So they make the decision, they do the strategies, you just do the job, what's being asked of you, and that's it. Laissez-faire, on the other hand, when you talk about autocratic, the leader dictates what needs to be done. Laissez-faire is the opposite. So you are given leeway as a associate to make the decision on your own. Um, Instead of directly handling down the task for every individual, the leader trusts you to to do what is necessary there. Next, democratic. This is a two-way style of leadership. So if I give you directions, I ask for your feedback, what you think about it. And then if the event that we do not agree on a certain matter, we meet at the middle. So the challenge here, being a democratic leader, you have to get consensus all the time. At the same time, everyone has to agree at the end of the meeting or at the end of the discussion that this is the approach that we will follow moving forward. So it also takes a lot of time because you have to get the consensus of everyone. And when I say everyone, it's really everyone. So without uh, letting someone we have to ask every individual's opinion there. Next, pace setter. So this is more they're more focused on really achieving the goal. The goal is what really matters. They set very high standards in terms of what needs to be done, not only for the team but also from themselves. Usually, these people are your subject matter experts because they know the job very well. They know the technicality of the position. They know how to achieve it, and they have the specific skills to do so. So that's why they're very focused that this is the goal and this is what I can do. And they have very high standard because they are experts in their specific field. and they are more on goal setting instead of praising or acknowledging hard work. Yeah, so what's the motivation in terms of how they deliver their style. Transformation rather. So these leaders, type of leaders, are the ones who look at specific process, specific project, specific strategy, and how can we improve it better. So in terms of innovation, how do we shorten a specific process? How do we change the steps from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to only 5 steps? How do we automate things? And they focus more on change management as well, but also aligning it with the mission vision of the company. And this is a combination of both coach and visionary leadership style. Next, transactional. So these are people who just focuses on what needs to be done now. So they give attention to the specific task at hand, and they they in terms of reward or performance management, if you do good, then you get good scores or have high scores. If you do bad, then the opposite. So they're focused more on the actual tasks that sometimes innovation doesn't really matter. So they really focus more on what needs to be done now. Lastly, bureaucratic leadership. This is a very traditional style, a leadership style. They follow by the book, and they will usually say, "I'm used to doing this, so why do we need to change?" Or there's no other way but what we have here. This is the old process. This is something that we've been doing for the past number of years. So why do we change? So they are most common with big and old traditional institutions, usually in the academe industry, and of course in government as well. So because they're used to doing this type of practice, they do not want to change it. So they get too very complacent with what they have in the process. And for us to better understand all of the 10 leadership styles, let's look at what differentiate them from one another. So when we talk about coaching, again, it's motivational, supportive, and there is relationship building because you encourage communication one-on-one. It's face-to-face individual. The good thing about is you develop every individual's skills, talent, and technical expertise. And it also improves self-efficacy. On the other hand, it's very time consuming. So you just imagine if you have 20 associates reporting under you and you have to talk to them individually. So it takes time or a lot of effort in preparing for that kind of meeting. At the same time, it takes time for having to discuss it. At the same time, it takes time for you to evaluate where we are in a specific goal. So they also focuses more on the daily tasks at hand rather than the big picture because it's individual. Visionary, again, very inspirational. They look at the big picture, holistic approach, the mission of the company. Usually, these are your executives, your chief executives, or sometimes entrepreneurs. So they're very great for creating company mission and roadmaps because, again, they look at the holistic approach, how the company would want to move forward, and how can we achieve that. But in terms of hands on the other side, it's not very practical. It may pose some issues when it comes to succession planning as well, because if you are a visionary, usually these are the one man standalone person. So it's very difficult to find someone who have that kind of mindset or have that kind of style as a leader. And usually, again, because these are executives, so it's really difficult to also hire for this type of people. And for you to have a succession planning in the event that that person would resign is going to be very difficult. Yeah. Servant. So again, this empower the associate to go to the leader and ask for support. So it's a very supportive environment. It creates independent teams because again, the associates are given are empowered, and then it also increases positive company culture. On the other hand, it's hard to measure, and since it's more of an ongoing goal, it also is very time consuming and not very good in terms of decision making because you give the authority or you empower your associate who do not have or may not have the authority to make decisions because you are the manager, you are the leader. It has to be you. Next to be autocratic. So the good thing about this is very decisive. You know what needs to be done, straightforward. Uh, it's very efficient. It provides structure. You know what it to do. It gives. It's very ideal for any time crisis and all because you just need to ask your leader, sir or ma'am, what do I need to do? And this is what's given to you. The challenge in this kind of leadership style is it it lowers the morale of the employees because it's a one-way relationship, and there's not really a chance, but there is resistance in terms of change. So there's little room for collaboration and innovation because it's one way. So this type of leadership style is kind of challenging as well if you would want to work in a big group or a team. Next, this is fair. So again, it's hands off. You encourage your team to do the task. This is very relaxed in terms of environment and very trusting as well. This is great for accountability, giving the team accountability, and also the flexibility and creativity in doing their task. So it increases employee satisfaction. But the challenge here is if you implement such leadership style, it lacks clarity because again, the tasks are being handed down to you alone, and it's up to you to be creative in how to implement it. It also lacks the structure that requires for self-efficiency, specifically for the whole workforce. Because again, this type of style, it's always the team who has the leeway to do a lot of things instead of the leader. Democratic, again, this is a two-way leadership style, so it encourages collaboration. It's very fair because everyone's opinion is being heard, and then it's also trustworthy. It opens up a lot of opinions, a lot of changes, innovation as well. And you look at different points of view. And also, it increases high morale as well. The challenge here is if you have to implement this kind of style, decision making will become very, very slow because you have to, again, talk to every individual and come up with a consensus. And that becomes a challenge, especially if everyone do not really agree. So you have to get the consensus. It takes a lot of time and effort as well. Pace setter, so fast pace because these are your subject matter experts. It's more efficient and they lead by example and drives growth. The challenge here is because it's the focus is more on the goal. It may lower the employee morale and higher burnout because we have to do this now. These are objective. We have to do this. We have to do this. And it also gives less room for creativity, innovation, or collaboration. Okay. Last three, transformational. This is very good because of innovation. It encourages collaboration and strong delegation as well. It promotes a lot of change management, and then it gives the employees confidence that they feel that they are being trusted by the leader and being supported by leader as well. But on the other side, it requires employees who are good at that time and priority and management. It focuses on short-term idea generation only and not a good fit for less agile companies. Transactional. So advantage would be it's a give and take. So it maintains overall growth. It's very efficient. There is good for independent workers. On the other side, it's poor effect on the company culture because there's no growth in terms of mindset. There's little opportunity for creativity, collaboration, and innovation because you focus more on the transaction there. Bureaucratic, to summarize this by the book. These are your typical institutions that have uh, that follows their own way, meaning this is what we've been doing for the number of years, and why do we need to change it? So the good thing about this, there is clear structure because the process, the goal, what have you, is already there. You just have to do it, and it's also good for handling large workforces because there is a manual that we need to follow, and that's it. We need to change that, or there's a process we need to follow, and that's it. And the challenge here is more of in terms of innovation. Uh, and we all know that now that in the 21st century, we have to constantly review our process, review our company, and make things do things differently to adapt to the changing environment as well. So, what's the importance of knowing all of this leadership style for you, even if you're not a leader or eventually will become a leader? So, the advantage of knowing this and how it will help you in terms of your career development, it helps you to improve in how you communicate with your leader. In knowing the type of style that your leader has or has been implementing for how many years, you'll be able to customize the way how you communicate with them. It's also effective in terms of handling challenges, and it also very efficient because you know that you know your your manager's style. You will know how to approach it. It'll be easier for you to pitch any project or any change management that you would want to implement. And it's also very realistic in terms of expectations. uh, for example, if it's a bureaucratic style, everything is set, everything is being laid down. So at least you know these are the things that are expected of you, and you know what to do there. And lastly, it will help you to manage up. What do you mean by manage up? Because you know your leaders or your manager's style, you will know how to tweak the way you communicate with them, the way you partner with them, the way you work with them. So it's easier for you to really manage everything efficiently and effectively. There. So that's actually done my last slide. But before I end my slide, let me take this opportunity to talk about ADP. So ADP Philippines Incorporated, we are located here in Makati, specifically at Glorieta. We provide human capital management services to our clients. When you talk about human capital management, to simplify it, it's HR or human resources services. So we provide services such as payroll to our clients, benefits, administration, or annual enrollment. We also provide compliances, uh, also talent acquisition. And when we talk about clients, these are different small to mid to large organizations or companies. And usually, not usually, you deal with the employees of these companies or the HR personnel. So we're not selling any product. We don't do customer service. It's more of client services. You talk to professionals, um, and you talk to sometimes owners of the business. So if you're interested to apply, you can visit us at phjobs.adb.com. You can also visit our site at jobs180.com/adp, or simply send your resume at bmore@adp.com. So that actually ends my presentation, and let me know if you have questions.
Thank you for that, Sir
Shari.
Sherwin.
Hello,
Hi, sir.
Shari.
Thank you for that. To our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So, I'll go first para may time kayo mag-isip. So,
Sige.
first question, sir. Lagi ko po din tinatanong, pero let me ask it
Mm.
again. Do you believe that being a leader is an innate quality? Is it like some people are just born to be great leaders?
Actually, not innate, but it's more of you are born, but there is an opportunity for you to develop it further. Uh, so a leadership skill is a skill. So it means you are given a way in terms of how you can develop further, you can reach further, and you go through years of experiencing it based on your exposure with your different managers or leaders as well. So it's somehow innate, but you can develop it. It's a combination of both.
Thank you for that, sir. So next question. If you are only starting in your career, how do you make sure that you become a great leader in X number of years? Is this a, a, a sum of all of the trainings that you have to go into, a sum of all the experiences that you have to encounter before becoming that visionary or that effective leader?
First and foremost, you have to set your goal, the mindset. And then secondly, you have to know the company, the organization, and who you work for, who you work with, who you partner with, and gain those experiences. Aside from going through different types of trainings, attending seminars, attending events, for you to be able to hone your leadership style is through experience as well. Yeah. So sometimes when you attend training, seminars, events, it's by the book. It's better to also experience them while you work for a certain organization. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Last question na lang po. What would be your advice to fresh graduates who are looking
Mm-mm.
to follow the same trajectory? Entry level post, associate, supervisor, assistant manager, etc.
Mm-mm.
So, if they're going to follow this like trajectory as opposed to, for
Mm-mm.
example, starting their own business and becoming a boss here from here on, what can you advise if especially they're doing this in the corporate world, in the industry?
Actually, madami siya. But to sum it up, authenticity goes a long way. That's one. Integrity as well. That's, that's another. And being open to feedback. Not just open, just listening to the person, but you have to be open in terms of getting feedback from them as well. Because if you want to be a leader, you have to know how people would perceive you as a leader. And that's really critical in terms of implementing or setting goals for the whole organization. You have to get that feedback regardless if it's positive or not. Being open, uh, it gives you a lot of way to, to change things, not only within the organization or with your team, but also to yourself. Yeah, so authenticity, integrity, and being open or flexible. Yeah.
Thank you for that, sir. Follow-up question. Would you say
Okay.
sir, that sorry, sir? would you
It's
say
okay
would
lang.
you say, sir, that like you mentioned a while ago, integrity, openness to feedback are these qualities that the new generation, do they struggle with it or do they like thrive in it? Do you like if we compare from this generation to the current generation, are they struggling? Is this something that they struggle with?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. To be honest, the generation now is very open. They're very, very straightforward. They know what they want. They know how to achieve it. They know what they need to do to achieve that. Uh, but sometimes it becomes really lax in terms of accountability. Yeah, because they think a lot. They want things done very fast, and if it doesn't really happen, uh, they just let go. Yun. So they have to have that continuous, let's say, how to word that, uh, in terms of continuous relationship that you have to have at the same time. uh, Nowadays, it's a mix of different generations. So we're not just talking about Gen Zs or the young generation. You have, especially if you are to apply in a very traditional company, you get to meet like a peer who's very older than you, like times two. Yeah. So you have to also have that kind of flexibility, taking into consideration different generations at the same time. Medyo mahirap siya, but again, our generation now is very, very flexible. straightforward. They know what want to do, and they just need to be guided by their leaders in terms of making sure that there's continuous, it continue there.
Thank you, Sir Sherwin, for sharing your story. So, to everyone, please don't forget to visit ADP's career site, that's jobsready.com/ADP. So, to everyone, sure na ba na walang tanong? So, pwede kayong mag-send ng questions sa Facebook namin if meron kayong question, tapos kami na lang ang sasagot on behalf of the speakers that we had today. So, Sir Sherwin, on behalf of Mapua and on behalf of TUP Taguig, we thank you for being here with us this morning, and we look forward to having you, sir, again in future sessions with other universities.
Thank, thank you as well, and you're welcome anytime. Bye bye.
Thank you, Sir Sherwin. Ayan. So we thank you, the guests, the staff of the TUP, Miss Nees and her team. Thank you so much for bringing this event into a good outcome. So thank you. To our audience, kung andyan pa kayo, please don't forget that there is an evaluation after this event. So that will be the basis of your attendance. So to everyone, may we request Dr. Leila A. Ramos, head for the Office of Student Affairs for TUP Taguig, to deliver the closing remarks.
Good day, everyone. Let me congratulate you as you have reached the stage of supervised industrial training. As we close this orientation program, let me remind you that as you enter the actual scenario of your respective profession, you are bringing with you your positive characteristic, such as being diligent, respectful, and disciplined. But you are also bringing your negative traits as tardiness, complacent, others are non-compliant. Remember that you are carrying the name of our university, the Technological University of the Philippines, Taguig Campus. We must preserve the reputation and dignity of our institution. Let us do our best and make our beloved university proud. Hail to you, hail TUP Taguig. Strong minds, mighty hearts, priceless than gold. This we offer you and all mankind. Hail Technological University of the Philippines, Taguig Campus. Again, congratulations. God bless us all.
Thank you for that, Dr. Ramos. So to everyone, please don't forget to evaluate. We'll put the evaluation link in the comment section. Please be advised that the recordings of the webinar will be posted in the Jobs on AT Facebook and YouTube channel. So to Tech, can you please put that link in the comment section? Maybe Ms. Nees can also put it on the MS Teams. We are also inviting everyone to attend the Accenture open house, open recruitment event. So can we move to that slide? So this is a plug from one of our partners. Okay, there you go. So this one, you can scan the QR code to reserve a slot for appointment. So every day they open, it's called an open house. So every day they process applications. So you can do this can walk in, or you can set an appointment for a virtual interview. So they do their own recruitment process. So can we go to the next slide? Ayan. Ayan. So, for processing, please make sure that you scan the QR code below. So this is for their site in Pioneer. So please watch out for the next set of webinars that we are hosting for other schools next week. So kung may interesting na topic doon for you guys, pwede rin kayong manood for free. You're welcome to join in any of those sessions, or pwede kayong mag-rewatch. The topics are usually posted on our Facebook page. So we invite you to come and join us. And lastly, We congratulate everyone for attending this SIT orientation, and advance congratulations to everyone who will be graduating soon. So thank you so much. This is the end of our webinar today. So thank you to all those who joined us, and you may rewatch if ever you missed some parts of the webinar. So see you all and have a great afternoon. I'm looking forward to have you in the workforce. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.
Isa